Hey, this is Joel from the Poor Man's Retro Game Room.
And Jason from Kind of Cool.
And Ryan from the 123 Gamerman channel.
Welcome, guys. So we thought this would be kind of fun. We had a three-way trade, a trade that kind of turned into a three-way trade. And so things that I had, they went to, some of that went to Jason, some of it went to Ryan. Some of the stuff that Ryan sent me went to Jason as well. So, and it was really kind of a unique type of thing. I had kind of had a find that I found in my basement. I made it public in our trade group, and Ryan just said one little thing. Are you keeping that? Are you holding on to that?
I snatched it up. I had to have it.
Had to have it. No,
and I was just happened to be looking to move something that I know Joel was interested in. So It was kind of perfect timing. And I knew he was going to get this windfall stuff of Ryan. At that time, I didn't even know exactly what it was going to be, but I was like, I'll hear it out. And it just so happened it piqued my curiosity, and we made the deal. So it was fun stuff.
It was a lot of fun. Really cool that kind of all three of us, got some things that we wanted from the trade. So, but yeah, we just kind of wanted to promote our group, our trade group, and just kind of let you have some insight on what it's like to be a part of a good retro game trade group. And I don't know, you guys want to kind of start on that, maybe give some benefits?
I think that when we all brought up the idea of having this video, it wasn't so much going to be a celebration of this particular one trade, but rather a celebration of being in a group like we all are in, right? We're in the Retro Collective Trade Group, and it's just been such a fun experience. And when I first got into this hobby, it was about 7 years ago. So I didn't have anybody really locally that I could, trade with and really discuss, but I knew that there was an online community out there via YouTube and such that I could get in there and meet people. But I had no idea that just dropping a couple comments in a few people's channels would lead to us being in this group that we're in right now, where we can trade, sell. I mean, the generosity, people give stuff away. I mean, it just continues to blow my mind. So, this one trade, it's a special trade. It's a big trade, but we're really here to just talk about just the benefits in general of being in something like this. And Ryan, do you agree?
I do agree. It does beg the question. What are the necessary elements that you need to have a trade group that works out in this way, where everybody kind of trusts each other, and especially with the trade that we have going on, where people are comfortable, trading something to somebody else who's then going to pass it on to somebody else. Like, what type of mentality do you think people need to approach the group with in order for something like that to happen?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think that we have to be giving, of course, and we also have to be kind of the same mindset when it comes to, collecting retro games. And one of the cool things is, to me, it's cool if I trade something to Jason, and, maybe there's 2 or 3 items and he has one item that somebody else wanted. He just turns around and trades it right to them. That's awesome, man. I mean, that's cool. So, we've never had any hard feelings for anything like that either. And, not just the trading, because I will tell you that my Jaguar collection, man, guys, 70% of it at least from the trade group. So
yeah.
And when I started and joined in this trade group, I had 0 Jaguar games. I did not have a Jaguar.
Those were dark days, Joel.
Dark days, man. I can't go back.
We're all glad we could help, Joel. We're all glad we could help.
But we've also really formed some good bonds, good friendships, and it's just been a lot more fun. Of course, that stuff's a little more valuable than video games. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
I agree with you, Joel. And I would say probably one of the key benefits that we had was, and Ryan actually helped us set up our Discord channel for our particular trade group. And really what we could do that way is really get to know these people. We've got opportunities to not just talk about gaming interests, but other interests as well. We have a, kind of a general type discussion that goes on movies, food, and you really kind of get to know these people and understand what makes them tick, and gives you some insight as to what they might appreciate from a trade standpoint, but also helps gain trust amongst the community. Right. And I think trust is obviously key. Some of these deals that we've done are some high end deals. I know that Ryan and I in particular have done some pretty high end deals, high dollar value trades, and you don't want to add in an additional wrinkle of the stress of, am I even going to get what I thought I was going to get in trade in return? We don't have that drama. We know that it's basically, hey, once this deal is done, it's going to come through. We're going to get what we expect. It's going to look like what we expect. And that's a really refreshing experience, to not even have to worry about the concerns of like doing like an eBay or Mercari where it's a faceless, nameless.
Right.
We don't know who these people really are. Right. But I know who Ryan is. I know who Joel is. I know who Mark is, Lyndon, all these great guys that we have out there in the Discord. It's just an opportunity to really meet with them and understand them. So I think
the
that's
drama
key.
never,
right.
The drama never comes from individuals. It's always like, will UPS deliver this?
Yeah.
Is it going to get stolen off of somebody's board?
Yeah. Some things I guess are inevitable, right? You can't get around those. But
yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as within the group, I think we all really trust each other.
Mm-hmm.
And what you were saying before in terms of getting to know each other, it does facilitate trades in a different way, because all of a sudden when something comes up for trade, people have a pretty good idea of where that item should go. So and so would really like this, or so and so has been looking for this. And maybe it doesn't make it there directly, but it seems to make it there eventually. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes,
it does.
Very much so. And we're very much a pay it forward group too, are we not?
Mm-hmm.
There's been instances where we've seen things, sometimes relatively high dollar things get sent to somebody just because we know that they would appreciate it, and it's like, hey, get me back when you can, or get somebody else back when you can. And I love those as much as the actual, tangible trades that you have. So I really appreciate not just, doing those, but actually seeing those go on as well. So it's a really big part of being in the group as well. I really like that. So.
Yeah, I bet you guys are going to have the same answer for this. Who started the throwing in an extra on a trade and paying it forward?
I think we all know.
Mr. Josh Moore.
Yeah.
There you go.
Play more games.
More games.
Before he was even Play More Games, he was doing that, right? So
that's right.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, when I talk about Josh to my wife, even in like private conversations, we call him Mr. Josh Moore. In our actual private conversations. Who's this package from? It's from Mr. Josh Moore.
Yeah. And some of our earliest videos, you remember, to be Josh Moored, what did that mean? Oh, I got Josh Moored. What did that mean?
Yep.
You got way above and beyond whatever it was you asked for or expected, right? To get Josh Moored. And so
he's a class act.
What's funny is, even the extras he threw in, like he would throw in or does throw in, they were always something that he knew you liked. It was always something that meant something too. So that's the kind of cool stuff. We also have, the Discord's a big, huge part of this group, right?
Yep.
And we've got a tech section where we've got some really some guys that know their tech and can jump in there and help answer questions, stuff like that.
3D printing now. 3D printing.
Yep.
3D printing. Yes, that's awesome. And
and other interests too, music, food.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that just kind of brings the group together. We kind of get to know each other a little bit more. And I've been very thrilled because I think it's kind of hard to be in a retro gaming group or any type of a video gaming group and not deal with drama. And we have had none, very little to none of that happen. So that's cool too. But we always kind of got to know people before we would, invite them into the group. And we always ask what the other group members think first, and get a consensus. And I think we've really done things the right way as far as that goes. So
I agree, Joel. I agree.
And we participate in things outside of even the Discord too. So we have Rocket League nights, and we do an annual Secret Santa. There's always something going on. Some are more successful than others. I don't know if you remember the trivia bot that I installed in the Discord that did not go over very well. Admittedly, it was terrible. So, some false starts on my part. But other than that, the ones where people really collaborate and get together on things, they've been incredibly succul.
I'm glad you brought up the Secret Santa, because I look forward to that more and more each year. It's like each year we kind of outdo ourselves all collectively, and I'm looking forward to this year as well. But don't forget, also, we've had some in-person meetups, Ryan, in which you've been part of as well. I know I did one in the Dallas area with some of the Retro Collective as well. So, we're spreading out to even, incorporating some in-person activity as well, which I think is really cool too. So
Joel, Omaha, Nebraska.
I know, man. Omaha. Omaha.
I'm still going to toss out Vegas, man. We got to be able to find something going on in Vegas, right?
Oh,
You
There's
would
got to be
think.
something retro minded going on up there.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, you would think that there would be something there. That's
Oh, yeah.
crazy. You know?
And for
Yeah.
everybody watching
Yeah.
here, in case you don't understand, the inside joke, or even not even a joke, the hope is that at some point we get the entire community, the retro collective community, together in one place to celebrate at some sort of, I don't know, retro gaming festival, and just kind of make a whole day of it and do something,
Meet
do it.
everybody in person, and yeah,
Yeah, that's the hope. We're not giving up on that dream. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
one day in 123 Gamer Man's basement, we're all going to be there.
I'm gonna need a bigger basement.
Yeah. Got to start somewhere. We got to start somewhere.
Do you have a barn that we could put some other people into?
Sure.
All
Yeah.
right, there you go. See?
So if we were to say to somebody who's looking to start an online community of their own, what do you think are some of the necessary ingredients in order to have success, especially in those early days where it's not a well-oiled machine, you're kind of starting from scratch?
Yeah, and I think that Mark has done an incredible job. He Dad Racer. We'll put a link to his channel in the description of all of our videos, but he's done an excellent job. He's kind of the leader, and he put out just a really good email that anybody gets invited reads that email, and we've got some rules and compliance type of things, just things that we don't do. And but to get to that point, I think that we're meeting people, talking to them in maybe the comment section of either our video or maybe theirs, and we get to know them, and then we take them to the group, and if the group wants them and thinks that they'd be a good fit, then we reach out. But and the other thing is, don't grow too fast. It's not let's get big in a hurry. No, take your time.
Hang a lantern on that. That is so true.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Jason, what about you? What do you think?
Oh man, I always thought our biggest criteria was just making sure that they had a passion for the same hobby that we all did. And that's really what brought us together in the first place. And I think as long as that's there, I mean, that's definitely an anchor that you can use to basically say, hey, this person is going to be a good fit with the group. And then obviously if honesty is mixed in with that as well, I mean, that's a perfect combination right there. An honest person that's hugely into retro gaming and passionate about it. Hey, that's exactly what we're looking for. And that's kind of what we've used. Beyond that, we really didn't have any criteria beyond that, and it's worked out pretty well. So
yeah, I remember, I mean, when we first started, how many members did we have? Maybe six, 7.
Gosh, I knew you were going to ask the hard questions, Joel. Let's see. I mean, we started up pretty early with Mark, Dad Racer, Lyndon was there, myself, Joel, Ashton Cheese Gaming, Mocking JYT came in pretty quickly after that.
Yep.
Retro Projections was pretty early. I know I'm going to miss somebody. I'm going to look like an idiot for
Josh
it, right?
Moore, of course.
Josh Moore. Obviously, we've talked about him. He was there.
Yep.
And I think those are kind of, some of our founding fathers, I guess, right? Of the Retro Collective Trade Group.
The Discord, we were doing this all over email.
That's right.
True. In spreadsheets. Remember, we had Excel spread. We still do. So we have an Excel spreadsheet that basically lists anything that may be up for potential trade.
Yeah.
But largely, we've almost even grown beyond that now, because a lot of it can happen via Discord and community posts and private conversations about what you may have come across. In fact, this trade right here didn't land on anybody's spreadsheet. We just knew there was stuff that people had come in, contact with and needed to move on from, and pretty quickly found new homes elsewhere. So I think that's kind of how it's naturally progressed. It's really moved from the spreadsheet into the Discord. And Ryan, again, thanks. We appreciate all the work you helped put into that, and it's really kind of taken the whole thing to the next level.
I think you're right. It's become less transactional and more relationship based.
Yep.
So if somebody has something that they're looking to trade, they're going to reach out to people, or they're going to post it, or they're going to know who would really want this in the Discord, or in the group. So yeah, I think you're right. A lot of that spreadsheet stuff has gone a little bit by the wayside. Not that it doesn't still have its place. I think it does. But certainly the majority of the trades that I have done probably all this year, none of them came off of a trade sheet. In fact, it's funny you brought up Josh Moore. I recently received a trade from him, and he sent me, of course, an extra. I got Josh Moore. And the thing that he sent me, I'm like, how did he know that I needed this? I must have said something or somebody said something, but this was not public knowledge that I needed this. And he just knew, and it's one of those things where you become familiar with people and you also become familiar with people's collections. It's just weird.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, at this point, if I'm out at a garage sale and I see something, I know, hey, Ryan would like this, or I need to check this with him to see if he's got this already, or, we know kind of what people are looking for. So I think the spreadsheet is a good thing to have if starting out.
For
So
new
I think
folks.
that's a good,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And what we did was we just put everything that was up for trade. We would list them on the spreadsheet, and then you could go and just check the spreadsheet and see, if there was something you wanted. And then we kind of later on added a section of things that we wanted that we're seeking. But the Discord is kind of, it takes care of that at this point.
Yeah, it started relatively low tier, like just extras, things you didn't have any
Yeah.
concerns about getting rid of. And it's kind of worked its way up now to where a lot of the deals we make are not necessarily extras anymore. They're
Right.
basically trying to get something out of my collection that may be relatively high end, but also something I know that you may appreciate more than me. And then same thing that you're doing, when we do that. So really, really cool, awesome kind of trading, best practices, I guess you could call it, right? So
It's a good term. Yeah.
Ultimately, we talk about trades a lot because that's the thing that's the most public. We could get rid of trading tomorrow, and I don't think it would change much of anything about the Discord group.
Oh yeah.
And I think that switch is important at some point for a gaming community, that being around people who are interested in the things that you're interested in, enjoy talking about them, and you get a lot of joy interacting with people about those things becomes more important than these physical items. That's the real hidden gem.
Yeah, these are our friends. These are our friends here now, and that's how I look at it. So
yeah,
you're right. And there's been long stretches that I haven't made any trades, but just being part of that community is the cool part. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really taken the hobby experience to the next level for me to be part of this group. So I'm very thankful, and I'm glad we had an opportunity here to share that here in this particular video. So good idea, Joel. Good idea.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm glad you guys agreed to be a part of this. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So don't forget, if you want to see what I sent, kind of cool. He's gonna have this same front part of the video. All three of us are, but then we're gonna each show you what we got out of the trade. So you'll want to go to Kind of Cool YouTube channel. We'll have pop-ups, and we're going to have links to each other's channels in the description as well. And if you want to see what I sent Ryan, go to his channel, check it out. And if you're coming from Ryan or Kind of Cool's channel over here, feel free to skip right ahead. We're going to try to put a timestamp in our description. Maybe we'll put it up on the video here to where you can just go right to that and see what our pickup videos. So
sounds fun, Joel. I can't wait.
Yeah, me either, man.
Thanks for putting this together.
Well, thank you guys for agreeing to be a part of it. I think this is kind of a first, so it's kind of a pick your adventure.
Yeah.
Watch that first part of the video and then go to the other guys' channel, watch what they get, and it's gonna be fun. So
that's awesome.
and just about this trade, that is kind of, I found something. I knew that Ryan showed a little interest in it. I hadn't even used this for 20 years. And so I knew it'd have a good home. And that's just the kind of the thing that started to kick it off. And then I hear from Jason, he's like, hey, I've got this thing. I'm kind of trying to move it, and I know you're interested in it. So what ended up happening is some of the things I got from Ryan went to Kind of Cool, and he sent me the thing that I was interested in. So
you got to click through to see, though, right? You got to click through.
That's right.
Got to click through, man. So I think that's it. Did you guys have anything else to add to this part of the video before we get started on our?
Just a big thanks go out to everybody in the Retro Collective, man. It's been a fun time, and I'm looking forward to more future times with them as well.
Yes.
So thanks for putting this video together. And
the Retro Collective is what our group's name is. So thank you.
How many members do we have now, Joel?
I was wondering, isn't it? It's over 30, right?
Yeah.
Where's Mark when you need him?
Yeah,
I know he would have this number.
Exactly.
he'd have it. He would. But I mean, yeah, that it's grown that fast, and
Yep.
the the diversity of the collections that the people that are in our group is amazing. I mean, it really is. So it's been a lot of fun. So
People from all over the country too.
that's true. I forgot that
Mhm.
we are international.
We've actually got worldwide, but
Yep.
it's not as
Yep.
easy to pull off trades with those guys. But they're in
Yep.
there. You know.
UK and Australia. Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
and a lot of fun to have in the Discord chat, man. We have a lot of fun with those guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's been a blast, man. We've met people we would never have been able to meet, outside of YouTube, and so it's been cool. All right, well, I think that's it. Stick with us to see what our pickups are and what we got from this trade, and I think that's it. So hang in there.
So you're probably thinking, so what did kind of cool get out of this three-way deal? We're gonna crack open this box and take a look at that now. And first thing I want to say, this box was big. I had to find a new spot in the house to open this up than I normally do for my unboxings, just because of the sheer size of it. Most of these things came from Joel. Obviously, they all came directly from Joel. There's a Game Boy Color that came out of the box. But most of these things came from Ryan in a deal earlier that he had made with him. So this is a windfall stuff that he'd gotten from a previous deal, and I collected some of that on the way. And this is a freebie. Clash at Demon Head. Look at this. Joel just threw this in the kindness of his heart. It was not part of the original deal, but I'm okay with that. This was, however, part of the deal, and I'm excited to bring this one home. This is a Super NES Super Set. This is just the box and the styrofoam and the instructions. We'll go over all the details on that here in a second. As well as a Legend of Zelda box. Again, no game here. This is just the box. Really good looking copy. We're going to get into that here in a second as well. But we're not done. Long boxes. This is a Doom long box for PlayStation 1. Joel actually had this in his collection previously. I think it was a duplicate. He sent it my way. And this Gex that I've had my eye on in his collection for quite some time as well. This is the long box. This one's actually complete. And we'll go into that here in a second. So first off, again, this is the freebie from Joel. He sent this my way. I think it came from Ryan originally. This is Clash at Demon Head. I don't know a lot about this game, but it looks like an interesting little platformer. And hey, freebie. Joel, I appreciate that. Very generous of you. This Game Boy Color up next came from Joel, and this actually was a basement find that he was going through his basement and happened to stumble into this, didn't even know he had it. I believe he said it was his daughter's originally, but it's in pretty good shape. It's got the original stickers, the original battery cover. Looks good. I'm liking this teal color, and I've really been playing this one a lot. I'm not a big portable guy, but it reminds me how much I really do like playing games on the Game Boy. So fun stuff. Gex, I've had this on my eye on this one for a while, and Joel knew it. It came up as a potential item to send my way, and I said yes, definitely. I love the long boxes. It's a big part of my warm memories from collecting PlayStation 1. This one is complete, and disc and manual, so looking good. Again, I probably should have had this one initially when I was into the PlayStation 1 long boxes originally. I didn't have this one, so this will be the first time I've ever actually truly played Doom on the PlayStation 1. That sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. So we'll take a look at this. All right, this one I'm really happy about bringing home. I've been kind of going through this renaissance of wanting to collect NES CIB again, and I don't know why I'd gotten rid of so many of them over the years, but I really wanted to have Legend of Zelda, and this one's here in the collection now, and that's the original round seal, which was important to me too. If I was going to get one, I wanted it to be a round seal. I don't know much about all the revisions. I think this is an early one though, and it's not perfect. It's got a few flaws. If you look at the topmost portion of it here, the two interior flaps are in fact missing. And there's a little bit of, dings and scratches here. But you know what? When you get it in the box here, and line it up with all the other games, it actually looks pretty sharp. And I am very happy to add this to the collection here. All right, Super NES Super Set. Again, this is not complete. This is just the box, but that's okay. Again, I'm going through this whole box thing. The Super Nintendo is actually what I would consider pound for pound my favorite console of all time, video game console of all time. So I figured I needed to have the box. And strangely enough, I did have it at one point. Traded it away. You can see this one's not perfect either. It's got a few fuzzy corners and some scratches and some scuffs here, but it comes with this really cool protective case that kind of really gives it kind of this like completed effect and looks really clean, and I'm actually really liking it. I know it's not perfect, but it's in good shape, and it's not crushed or damaged in any way, just a couple dings and scratches. And I can say that the paperwork here, the manual and the placemat, they are extra crispy. I'm not even sure they've ever been opened. It doesn't appear if they have been, so looks really good. And overall, this three-way deal has treated me really well. Joel, thanks for sending this my way, and Ryan at 123 Gamerman, thanks for sending it his way in the first place to make this deal even possible. All right, everyone, that's it for today, but thanks for watching. Check in next time. I hope to show you something kind of cool.